So top 5 sub jobs that are there. And I was saying I wanted to kind of speak with you on it because everybody's asking, is this job a good job? And I've never been on a sub to tell you if it's a good job. You know, there's a lot of intricacies. And your sub, there's not a lot of people, right? So everyone's interdependent. So to disclaimer everything here, we understand every job is important. It's okay. You're like, Tommy, someone's feelings are about to get hurt real quick. All right.
That's fine. I'm down. Let's do it.
So
do you want to do the what you think first and then have me? Okay.
All right.
Let me while you go, I'm gonna kind of write my list here.
All right. I'm gonna go off this because like I think of jobs that are gonna be decent quality of life. The first one I'm gonna put is probably the IT on the sub. I'm like, you got computer access, right? It's usually not the warmest space on a sub, I would say, probably because all these computers need to have some kind of cooling. Every ship I've ever been on, the ITs do have it better. So like that's what I would say for my. I don't know if I could do 5. All right.
What's the top 3? What's the
top 3? All right. Yeah. So and as far as easy. All right.
So are we saying best quality of life?
Yeah, quality of life and easy work. Quality of life and easy work. I got to go with the YN because they have YNS, right? So the Yeoman, they're admin people. You know, their job is Microsoft Word. That's what I check. Every YN so bad right now. I've made a YN video. I will link above of a YN that's actually been on the channel. My third one, as far as best spot on the ship, it's funny because I can't even think of a sub job that I'd be like, that's a good, like a specific sub job. These are all, well, YNS and ITS are specific sub jobs, but
yeah,
everything's kind of specific, but yeah, I think HM would be the last one because I'm like, dude, you're the medical guy. You're the one of one. Everyone's got to be your friend. I'm not saying it to be biased either. I'm just saying like it makes sense. You're involved in everything. I think the YNs are probably involved in everything too, like especially higher level, like correspondence. Yeah. So they get good FaceTime. So those are my 3, the best jobs on the sub. What do you think about those jobs?
And so the criteria is just strictly quality of life, not like after Navy, like benefits, stuff like that.
Not at all. It's Navy specific. And so these people, when they're talking, I get it. You can throw out your rates that you want that are probably better for that. If you want to do like honorable mentions, definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, let's hear what you got to say.
All right. So I'm going to go number 1 is Radiomen, just because I'm biased and that's what I was.
All right.
We have a really sweet like locked room that no one else is allowed into. And we control. So ITs on subs and ITs on service ships are a lot different.
Yeah.
Sub ITs, literally all they do is the network.
Yeah.
The Radiomen, we're the ones that deal with the comms, the emails, all that. So if we don't like you, you don't get your emails. So you always want to be friends with the Radiomen and the cooks. That's like the two.
And if you guys, just to put out there, I know people are probably like, oh yeah, email's not that big of a deal, but on a sub, you guys have less communication than the rest of the regular Navy. So like realistically, email is like a lifeline pretty much.
Yeah. When you write it, it comes to us and then we send it off. And then when new ones come, it comes to us first. And then we disperse it back to you. So either way, it's coming through us.
If I have to cut this part out of the podcast, I definitely will. I have to ask that I read something on Reddit, and I was wanting to ask you about it. One of the guys was talking about great chain of command, and they were saying that one of the emails that came through was about like a guy's sister having cancer. Like she sent it and he had to do emergency leave. And like the CEO pulled him into his office and was like, your sister has cancer. We got the email, we're getting off the ship. Like he wasn't released the email yet. Do you guys filter that? Is that like your job there?
So we get the AmCross, like the American Red Cross message if it's done via that. But we also, I don't know if I can say that.
It's fine. Don't say it. It's fine.
That could very well possibly happen. Yes.
Okay. I was just curious. I was like, I don't know how true that story is, and I'm like, I don't want you to go into the specifics if you don't have to, but I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just reading stories on Reddit. So, but going back to it, so Radiomen, number one, because you control email traffic, which I do agree. My other thing I got to ask you about, because I've heard about these little strips of like messages that you guys can send.
Paper tape.
Paper
tape. That's like old school stuff. I
Mm.
mean, some boats still have that, but that's like the tertiary option.
Okay, like
Yeah.
no one's using that. Now,
Yeah.
is that just like why did we use that? I'm trying to. Is that like before we had email or?
Yeah, that was just like before. Yeah, that's just how comms were back. If you ever, do you know what a format line 2 is
Not really, but
on like a Navy message?
okay, yeah.
So like the first 3 letters are always like TTP,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's like the abbreviation for like paper tape, but like
Okay.
it's not paper tape anymore. That's just kind of like a traditionary thing that we still use on like Navy messages.
All right, cool.
So yeah.
What's your second job? What do you got?
So second job, I would say, so I kind of wrote my list for like just best job. So I would say quality of life wise would be the HM,
Yeah.
because he's Doc, right? And
Yeah.
like he's just like you said, he's the one of one. And like I never saw my Doc ever on board.
You're like, he was somewhere, like
Yeah.
doing something.
Like you really don't, since you're the one of one, like you're not expected to like stand any kind of watch underway. You're just expected to be Doc, and that's it. And you just kind of do your own thing, and no one else is there to tell you what to do, because no one else is a medical professional besides you. So
yeah. So I don't know if you would agree with this, but my other thing is I would say the scrutinization of medical records in your history is so tough. As a sub guy, it really eliminates a lot of possible seriousness of illness. Would you agree compared to surface side? Yeah, where I'm like, you really can't. You're not going on the sub with an issue usually, like,
nah.
and so it really eliminates a lot of the stuff you probably even see on a surface side on the ship right now. So definitely, but makes your life
And
easier.
then it does. It really does. The biggest, kind of going on a tangent on this, the hardest thing for sub guys is when they go to shore duty and they see a regular PCM at the clinic that doesn't know anything about sub duty, and then puts all these guys on like different medications, and then when they go back, are ready to go back to sea duty and do their screening, we're like, whoa, like you can't come back with all this stuff. You know what I mean?
De-screened. You're no longer a sub guy. Yeah.
So, and then let's see, third, I would definitely have to say, probably the ETVs, which is the NAVs, and that's just because, I mean, if we're out to sea, they're pretty busy, right? Because they're the ones charting and stuff. But like import, their job is to navigate the ship. But if you're next to a pier, you're not really navigating anywhere. So
you're looking at,
it's
we're
pretty
navigating, the shore here. So,
but I would say to kind of go on like best 3, like if people are interested in going to subs that are watching this, like I know like a lot of your audience are like deppers or people thinking about joining. I would definitely say MTS, or not MTS, I'm sorry, that's the qualification, MT, which is missile tech. Because you're only allowed to go to boomers, and boomers have way better quality of life than fast techs.
So
that's
explain that real quick. But I've definitely researched and looked between boomers and fast techs, and people have talked about them. What is the main difference that is just not anything classified that you can talk about?
So
I'm like, let's
a boomer.
go.
a boomer is a Ohio class submarine, which is the big ones. And then if people want more information about that, they could Google what an Ohio class does. But they have they do like the blue gold crew. So like one crew takes it off, one crew stays back. So you get a lot more free time. On a boomer, it's a lot bigger, so there's just a lot more space. A lot of times you get your own rack, opposed to fast tacks, which are very tiny, one crew, very high op tempo, and you're usually hot racking, which is 3 guys to 2 racks. But MTs are only on boomers. That we have no reason to have them on fast stacks. So I would say that's like a good sub rate. Radiomen, obviously, is really good for after the Navy because of a lot of the benefits that you get in that job, as far as clearances and stuff that you may get, is like gold on the outside.
Yeah.
And then I would say ETN, which is the nuke side of it, the nuke ETs, just because your reenlistment bonus is out of control. It's probably the easiest of the nuke rates, and they're just really cool guys. Okay. All the ETNs are really cool in my boat. So I would say that's like the top 3 sub rates.